Hello Vidisha,
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Good.
Okay, so today we are going to learn a very important topic and we'll be exploring this topic in little bit detail as well as in an interesting way. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, the topic name is inheritance. Have you
Okay.
ever heard of this word?
Yes, I've read it in my science book.
Okay, that's great. That's what I want. Now, inheritance is a very important topic in your day-to-day life, or you can say in your parents and in your family life. Now, you may ask how.
How?
Okay, we are going to explore that. The best part of inheritance is, have you ever observed there are similarities between you and your parents?
Yes. People keep telling me that I look similar to my father.
Exactly, and this compliment is actually related to our topic, inheritance.
Okay.
Now, there will be some differences and there are some similarities between you and your parents.
Yes.
And this is what we are going to explore. A very first term we need to understand is heredity. Now, before understanding heredity, you need to explore the term a little bit, inheritance. Now, these characteristics which you have, which you exhibit, which are similar between you and your parents, that means it is transferred from that generation to you, that is from your parents to you, and this is called as inheritance.
Okay.
So inheritance is simplified in a way, we can say those characters which are transferred from one generation to the next generation is called as inheritance.
Okay.
Now, this similarity between you and your parents will be called as hereditary characters. That means all those characters, as you said now that you look alike like your father. That means his height, his complex, his eyes color. This may be similar to you,
Yes.
right? And this you have heredity. These are the characters which are called as heredity. So
Okay.
all those characters which you have acquired from your parents are called as hereditary characters.
Right.
Now, you must have also observed there are differences between you and your parents.
Yes.
There are some differences between you and your father. There are some differences between you and your mother.
Right.
And these differences between the two generations, that is between the parents and the offspring, that is you are offspring in this case, or you can also call yourself as progeny. The next generation, a new generation, will be called as progeny. Now, this differences between you and your parents will be called as variation. So see, we have explored two important definitions here, heredity and variation. Heredity, repeating just to revise. Heredity are those characters which are similar between you and your parents, or you can say you have heredited from them,
Yeah.
and the differences between you and your parents will be called as variations.
Variations,
Okay, so now you are ready with the topic? Interesting?
Yes, very interesting.
Okay, let us explore few terms, important terms in fact. The very important, now you should be very curious about how you have inherited those characters.
Yes.
And the next coin word is gene. This transfer of the character from one generation to next generation take place because of a factor called as gene. This gene is very important because it is responsible for the transmission of the character, and because of this gene you look alike, and because of this gene only there are differences.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is simply defining it. It is a factor which is responsible for the transmission of the character from one generation to next generation. Okay, have you understood gene?
Yes, I did.
Now let us go for next term called as allele. Now allele is simply when for any characteristics you talk about, say what is similar between you and your father? Any one characteristic?
Height.
Height. Now for every characteristics, as you told height, there are two genes responsible. You remember what is gene?
Yes.
Those factor which is responsible for the characteristic transfer.
Yeah.
So for every characteristics we have two genes, and they are located on the chromosome at the same place. And because of this, they are called as allele.
Okay.
So two genes together having a similar position at the chromosome and performing a simple characteristic, that is representing a single characteristic, will be called as allele.
Okay.
So you are clear with the allele word?
Yes, yes.
Now let us move to next term, very important term called as dominant. Now you didn't ask me that you have two allele, that is two pair of allele, you can say. So you have two genes together, but you have a height of your father.
Right.
That means you have height of your mother also, and this is located in the gene which is not expressed. So dominant, simplifying, dominant is those characters which are expressed by you, externally can be seen.
Correct.
So you have not acquired or heredited the height of your mother, but you have heredited the height of your father. And these characteristics which you have externally appeared is called as dominant characters.
Okay.
But you carry the other gene which is not expressed in this generation, and this gene will be called as recessive gene or recessive character.
Okay.
So you understood?
Yes.
Now we'll do this thing. You just keep revising these terms, and when we meet next, we'll explore some of more important topics.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure. Thank you.